Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Pigskin Panel. I'm your host, AJ Lavender, and as always, I am with my brothers, my best friends, and the rest of the panel. We have to the right of me, as always, we have Mr. Mikey Sharp at Mike Sharp 11. To the bottom of him, we have the Flock Gang representing the Baltimore Ravens, Cody McGuire, and then as well, as always, from the sunny state of Florida, represent the Miami Dolphins. We have my man Joe Braga, J Bragg 35. Fellas, how are you guys doing today?
2 more days.
Not bad.
Two more days. Like, man, I am like goosebumps ready. Like, I'm actually just so pumped. I don't know if it's just every year it gets better and better, but think I'm more pumped for this draft than any other draft previously beforehand, just because there's just so many things going on. We have, the top 5 quarterbacks. We have a Hall of Fame caliber and Kyle Pitts. I'll take that off your hand, Mike. I'll mention him before you mention him this time. We have guys like Jamar Chase, and we just have so many skilled players. So the fact that to even think that in this draft, in the top 10, a defensive player might not even get drafted. It's super exciting. I cannot wait. But yeah, fellas, other than that, man, how have you guys been? Another week has gone by. I just want to get everybody's feelings out there before we get into the show. So, Mikey, how about yourself, my man? I see you repping a new chair, bro, man. That looks crazy.
Oh, yeah. This is my draft chair, buddy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right here. Watching the draft.
For those who are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Mike actually has like a go-go gadget chair right now where he has a cooler. He has it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like literally the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
He's living in 2050.
Yeah,
everyone's jealous. I know everyone's jealous. It's fine.
100%. And speaking of that, Mike, what are you drinking today, my man?
Today we got some Muskoka Detour.
Okay, Muskoka represent Muskoka, Ontario.
Only 4.3%, so nothing too crazy today.
Nothing too crazy. I love it, my man. Mr. Cody McGuire, how about yourself, brother?
Oh, I'm good. We picked up an extra pick in the draft, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. The Baltimore is making some deals, man. It looks like the Lamar year all over again. Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe. I anticipate we'll probably trade one of them. But we'll see. We'll see who falls to us, right? But lots of things can happen.
Some big things, oh man. And what about you, Joel?
We're just ready. We're ready for Thursday, man. We just want to get this on and popping.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Excited. But before we start off here, for those that are just, tuning in for the first time, we're the Pigskin Panel. We're 4 best friends that love the game of football, and we decided this one day, instead of just keeping our conversations behind closed doors and behind a Snapchat group messenger, we'd bring it out to the public. That way you can hear our thoughts, our opinions, some of the banter that we have, some of the heated debates that we have. I think if we would have started this about a couple years ago, man, we probably have 1 million followers by now for all the stuff that we come up with. Cody might not be on the show, and he might come back. Same with Joe. He might quit, come back. But yeah, so that's inside jokes that hopefully down the line we might have these heated debates all over again. But yeah, so we're from London, Ontario. Actually, I moved to Michigan here, but we're all originally from London, Ontario. Again, like I said, we're just huge football fanatics, so we can't wait to meet every single one of you. Again, we wanted to give a big shout out to the comment section and for everybody that's been watching us, sharing our videos, liking it, engaging with us in the comment sections, as well as on the social medias. We definitely do see you guys, and we definitely do appreciate you guys. Actually, Cody, we actually just crossed the 1,000 viewer mark, right, on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I was checking the settings just randomly last week, and last week we went over 1,000. So total.
That's crazy, man. Again, yeah. It's because of you guys, right? Our viewers and fans. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have crossed this milestone. And within this is episode number 7, I believe. So that's just crazy to even think about that. We have again one of our superstars and commenting in the super section. We see you, Braden. He says, -- Cody left the group. Yes, hey. And we have seen that a few times.
I'm here now, though.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Oh man.
Oh, but before we get started here, if you guys are wondering, who our favorite teams are, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can definitely see who Joel's favorite team is. It is the Miami Dolphins. We have Cody McGuire. As you see in his top right-hand little corner, he has a little plaque there. His team is the Baltimore Ravens. My boy Mike Sharp, he is America's team, the Cowboys, and I myself, AJ Lavender, I am a huge Broncos fan, so it's a pretty cool perspective to get really teams from each different division, right? So it's pretty cool perspective to see and all the trash talk that goes on. But today we have something special. As you guys know, we're 2 days away from the NFL draft, and we've done a mock draft previously 2 weeks ago. But this time what we're going to be doing is we're going to be redoing our mock drafts now that, Cody's team has now made the trades, and just some adjustments that we've seen with this team's needs, as well as this time we're able to actually do trades this time. That way we can make it more realistic, because last time it was a mock draft. If there was no trades possible, it kind of skewed a couple picks right in the early get around rounds. So super excited to see how that changes up here. But you know what? We won't hold you guys any longer. We're actually going to dive right into it. And just want to kind of just go over the draft order. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking 1 through 4. And then again, it's going to recycle back up. So whoever's pick number 1 is going to be drafted number 5, 2, 6, 3rd, 7, 8. And it's going to keep on going on and on. That way you kind of get the gist of how we're doing this. So GM time is, time to buckle up, pop our collars a little bit, because it is draft time mode. I hope you guys are ready. Of course, for the first pick, it's not going to be too hard of a draft, I guess. Again, if you guys mess this up, I'm just going to do a Cody, quote unquote, I lift the group. So, but we'll start off. Who has the number pick, so we 1 pick?
I said it. Yeah.
So we have Cody with the number 1 pick. He is taking the reins of Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is on the clock. And as we probably presume, this card has been probably handed in for about 6 months now. But Cody, you are on the clock. You have the time is yours. Go for it, my man.
Yeah, it's kind of obviously we know who I'm picking, but it is kind of interesting of all days for us to be doing this mock draft. Today is the first day I've ever even seen any smokescreen involving Lawrence. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they were talking about, are they going to take Lawrence at 1? And it's, it was predetermined, like you said, about half a year ago. So I think it's pretty obvious. So we can slot him in there at number 1.
Pick
Trevor
number
Lawrence.
1, we have Mr. Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I think this is probably the most obvious draft pick in years upon years. Probably since Andrew Luck, to be quite honest. But we have Trevor Lawrence off the board, quarterback from Clemson. And yeah, it's when you have Trevor coming out publicly speaking, saying, the Jacksonville Jaguar fans are sending gifts for his wedding, and he already has an offensive playbook. I don't see them really picking anybody else, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think last year Burrow was pretty obvious too, if I remember, but I think this one's even more so, because Burrow and Tua actually were kind of fighting for that number 1 spot there for a while there. People kind of forget that. There he is.
There he is. And honestly, it probably would have been Tua if Burrow didn't have his surprise,
probably, yeah.
Arguably one of the greatest quarterback seasons ever type of thing, right? So even he said that, which is quite interesting. He said if he didn't have that season, he'd probably be having just a normal job today, which was pretty interesting to see that take. So, but going from there, we had the Jets up, and this one said, people said this has been a lock too. But yeah, whoever has the 2nd overall pick, you are on the clock with the New York Jets. Jets.
So yeah, to this pick seems like it's a lock with Zach Wilson. We're gonna go ahead and take Zach Wilson here. Although, in my opinion, I would rather have Fields. That's my opinion personally, but I know the Jets are super duper in love with Zach Wilson, so we're gonna go ahead and cross his name off right there.
So we have Zach Wilson, the quarterback of a BYU, off the board. Again, another one that's been pretty much locked ever since the offseason started here. It's pretty interesting. Do you guys think if they go this route and then Justin Fields pops off, what do you think the fans' reaction with that to be? Like, is it going to be like, that sucks kind of thing? Or do you think it's going to be pitchforks and
Not really.
To be honest with you, I think Fields is going to be better come the end of everything. I like him better as an athlete. I like him better. I like his arm better. I know there's a lot of people that are really high on Zach Wilson. Some of the unknown, unique things that he does, the ability to make a play out of nothing. But I've also seen Fields do the same thing. I like Fields' mobility more too. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're gonna see with the Jets. You know, they live and die by the quarterback position. So we'll see what happens.
That's just the weird thing for me is like maybe the past 2 or 3 months, this whole Zach Wilson hype came huge. It was always going to be Fields and Lawrence, and then all of a sudden Zach Wilson came out of nowhere. Yeah, and like it's like after the season. It wasn't even like something that happened in the season to change people's minds. Like. Yeah, I don't know how. Like, how do you not like? How does the Clemson game for Fields not be like, okay, this guy's a lock at 2? Mm-hmm. That's what just shocked me is that Wilson kind of came out of nowhere and just seems to be the Jets guy now.
Yeah,
I feel like the Jets fans even want Wilson too, though. I don't think they're going to be pissed if don't you guys get that feeling? I don't think they really want Fields. I think the Jets are pretty on board with him.
They definitely want Wilson.
Yeah. And the one thing about Wilson there, Sharp, is actually pretty funny. Big shout out to my cousin Deron Hoskins if he's watching. But he put me on to Wilson the start of the season because he's actually been watching BYU games when you're just clicking through the TV or whatever, and there's like a BYU game. He just put it on before I go into bed kind of thing. And then he said that I think it was either last year he started just kind of watching them. He's like, man, this quarterback's like kind of straight, right? Just an unknown quarterback at the time, really. But he's like, he has like some of the mechanics and some of the things that are like, man, this kid's nice, right? So then this past August 2020, when I was visiting, he was like, yo, cuz, he's like, if you ever do like check out like a BYU or this looking at games and there's a BYU game, check it out, man. They had this quarterback named Zach Wilson, man, and he's straight. Like he's actually not bad. Like he might be a good prospect. And it's just funny now to see him just, saying like, oh, there's this guy out there who's a pretty good quarterback, making some good throws. It's like, damn, right? To now being a lock at number 2, which is just pretty cool just to see, which is, I don't know, Duran, if you're seeing this and, a scout's looking at him, maybe throw you some clout there, my man. But yeah, so Zach Wilson, we have number 2 at the Jets. Going up with number 3, we have Mike Sharp on the clock with San Francisco. Now, this is going to be an interesting pick. Because everybody knows, usually when you move up, it's for a quarterback. Could be for something else. Who knows? But, Mike, you are on the clock.
Yeah, so it's interesting because everyone's saying that it's down to Lance and Jones. Like, I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think you do the move from 12 to 3 to take Mac Jones. Like, to me, that seems like you're going up way too high to do that. Lance, I can maybe see if you plan on keeping Garoppolo for another year. But, like, this whole situation, like, I feel like Garoppolo is just pissed off. Like, why would he not be? Because they're obviously going up for his successor. So I personally don't see Garoppolo playing for the 49ers this year. So you got to go get a guy that's ready to play right now. And I think that can transform your offense, and especially with Shanahan kind of molding them. And, I mean, that guy is Justin Fields. So that's who I think they're going to take, and I think they're trying to smoke screen it to the point where, I don't know, they may not want other teams to know they're going to take him till they take him. So Justin Fields is the pick here.
Justin Fields. Now, it's not biased now because you're an Ohio State fan there, Sharp, is it?
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit, but at the same time, I think he's the best quarterback available right now. So,
doesn't Garoppolo have a first-round tender on him though? Nobody's trading a first-round pick for Garoppolo.
No,
that's for sure. No. So he probably is going to be there all year.
Yeah, maybe
potentially.
You never know.
I could be wrong. I think he has one on him. If he does, I don't see anyone trading one for him.
Oh.
Well, the 49ers did say they'd want a first-round pick for him, but I don't.
Well,
I don't see
you know
anybody doing
what
that.
happens when you're searching for a trade, right? You know, usually don't get those premium picks unless someone's trying to get them for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, Sharp, I do agree with you there. I do think this whole Mac Jones and Trey Lance is our two guys. I think it literally is just a huge smoke screen because, like you said, I'm a Michigan fan, so being in the Big Ten, I've seen Fields just absolutely just tear it up all season. Like you always said too, like that Clemson game, man. When you beat down a perennial team like that with the quarterback that's going to be drafted number 1 overall, and this is the team that they had. Their decorated team, usually a strong defense team, and to have a guy like Justin Fields come in and just tear them apart like he did, it's like what are we even talking about here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a smart pick there. So
I hope in the real draft that's not the case, and it slips to this pick because I'd hope at 4 the Broncos would trade up for a Justin Fields if he's there. That would definitely be. I would not hate that whatsoever at all. But in terms of this, I do have the Atlanta Falcons pick, and at pick number 3 with being Justin Fields instead of a quarterback, I don't think with the upcoming picks with the Bengals, Dolphins, and Lions that no one would be trading up for this pick just quite yet. So in this case, I think the Falcons are going to be riding with, even though there's smoke screens about it saying Julio might be out, I do believe they're going to run it back with Julio, Ridley, Matt Ryan, and then they're going to strengthen that offense by picking the best player available, which is the Hall of Fame talent. The Atlanta Falcons will be drafting Mr. Kyle Pitts with the 4th overall pick. And I think that's going to be able to give them that final push. And then for anybody that comes in as successor for Matt Ryan in the future years has a Hall of Fame talent in Kyle Pitts with Calvin Ridley if they decide to do something with Julio. So Kyle Pitts at number 4 to me is the most logical choice.
Well, you just broke Dolphin fans' hearts everywhere.
Yeah.
You sure did.
And so now we're going to be going back on to whoever had the first overall pick, which will be Mr. Cody McGuire. He has the Bengals pick at number 5. Cody, you are on the clock.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while, I think they need Sewell. I think ever since that pick came out, even last week with the knee and that uniform that we were talking about, I haven't even heard somebody mention Jamar Chase's name and the Bengals. Have you? There was nonstop talk about it, and ever since I've seen that pick, I haven't seen a single thing about it. I'm not I don't know. I think Sewell's the obvious pick here. I think if we go back to that game against the Browns, I think it was, Burrow threw, I want to say, 55 times against the Browns early on in the season, which is ridiculous. And if you're throwing that many times a game against the Cleveland Browns, you're going to need a left tackle, right? And
especially when you have against Myles Garrett, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and even without without another wide receiver, they put up, I want to say, 30 points that game, 30 some odd points. So this is already a good offense. They're just missing the trenches and an O-line. So I really think Sewell is like going to be one of the biggest missing pieces to this team. So
Penei Sewell, the monster among men. I guess they're actually saying that. What's that?
He's a freak, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we have Penei Sewell from Oregon being drafted to the Cincinnati Bengals. I know Herbert was probably hoping that he slipped all the way down to pair up again, but that won't be happening.
I just looked it up quick because I was curious. That game I was just referring to, Burrow threw the ball 61 times.
Jeez, was that the second most? Because I think Ben Roethlisberger maybe had like 63 in one game. So that's just still ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
You have to put ice on that. That'd be like a pitcher. You just have to just ice wrap your arm the whole time. That's absolutely ridiculous. But now going on to the heartbroken fans of the Dolphins. They are on the clock. No Kyle Pitts. However, there's still a nice little piece that could be added. Well, we'll see what the Dolphins do. But, Mr. Braga, you are on the clock with the Miami Dolphins, which is actually your team. So it'll be really interesting to see what you go here.
Well, I mean, this is why the Dolphins moved back into the top 10, right? Back here at 6 with Philly. They moved back up here to get Jamar Chase, wide receiver out of LSU. It's a no-brainer decision for the Dolphins. I think they've wanted this to happen. If, for example, the Bengals went Chase, I would have loved Sewell too at Miami. It would have been great, especially with some of the moves that the Dolphins made today with Flowers being departed to the Washington football team. We have a need at right tackle now, but I think we might be able to address that a little bit later. We're going to go best player available, take Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, the stud out of LSU, coming off the draft board, going to the Miami Dolphins. And man, oh man, is he going to tear it. Tua is going to love this piece. Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah,
Like,
he's nice, man. Real nice.
I was really looking at it, man. If you look at that LSU year, you have Justin Jefferson, who absolutely roasted in his rookie year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jamar Chase roasted Justin Jefferson. So, like, absolutely just ridiculous just to think what he can actually put up next year.
Yeah, those numbers were ridiculous with Jefferson on the other side. Like Devontae Smith's numbers this year were ridiculous, but Waddle was out for most of it, right?
Yeah.
So you think about it, like they had two really good receivers, and what did he get? 20 touchdowns
With
2 years ago?
1,700 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. This
So,
insane.
Sitting out will help too.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that maybe would have been medical concerns, he has that rest now. So I think he's going to be firing all cylinders next year. Definitely is going to be on my fantasy board 1,000%.
Mhm.
But now going up, we have the interesting pick with the Detroit Lions acquiring Jared Goff in the trade with Mr. Matty Pathastats. This can go quite a few ways on their draft board. They have a lot of needs, but I'm really interested to see on what's going to be picked. So, Mr. Mikey Sharp, you are on the clock.
Yeah, they got a lot of needs. You can go receiver here. Like edge is too early here. They need that, but that you're not going to address it here. Maybe some O-line help. But this might take a lot of people off guard here. I'm not going to go receiver. I'm going to go QB of the future for the Lions, and I'm taking Trey Lance.
Whoa, there we
Wow.
go.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
It like when you really think about it, it actually is a very smart move because they're going to have Goff for a couple years, and Lance is going to have to sit for a couple years. So it might work out pretty nice for Lions. I mean, wide receiver would be nice here, but like this year, like the Lions they're not going to be any good.
Yeah.
So why not take the quarterback? Like this guy's going to be a good quarterback, but he's got to sit. And I think this is the perfect team for him to sit and wait.
New GM, new coach. Like, yeah.
I like that. I like
see
that
it.
pick, Sharp.
I like it. I like it a lot. Awesome. And then with me here, with the Carolina Panthers at 8, they don't need their quarterback.
Billy Belichick's on the line here.
Oh,
Ooh.
in the war room. Hello, Bill.
Yeah, we want to move up. We see a quarterback we like, and we want to give you 15 and next year's 1.
15 and next year's 1.
Yep.
I do like that. Let me check with my war room.
Yep.
Mr. Bill,
Yep.
you have a deal.
Perfect. Send it in.
Breaking news, we do have a trade. At pick 8, we have the New England Patriots moving up to pick number 8. So they're going to be given this year's first round pick, which is pick 15, and the 2022's pick, first round pick, to move up to 8. And Boom. Force that trade. And now the Patriots are now on the clock. And then Mr. Bill Belichick said he has an eye for a quarterback. And let this upload here. Boom. So just a recap here. We have Carolina now moving to pick number 15 while also receiving the Patriots 2022 first round pick for the New England Patriots to move up to number 8. And so while they're on the clock here, just want to make sure we have the QBs up, and they are going to be drafting. Oh, wait a second. Didn't want to go through. Uh-oh. The commissioner might veto this. Okay, nope. So it's on there. It's not uploading here, but there we go. So it's in there. So they're on the clock. And Mr. Mike Sharp with Mr. Bill Belichick. What quarterback will you be drafting here at pick number 8?
The only one left worthy of it, Mr. McIntyre.
Kyle Trask. What?
Wait, who?
So the Patriots are going to be selecting the quarterback out of Alabama, Mr. Mac Jones, to the Patriots. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So now we do have the Broncos on the clock at pick number 9. Quarterbacks are all gone, so it's going to be very interesting to see where Mr. Cody McGuire goes. Mr. Cody McGuire goes with the pick number 9 to the Broncos. Cody, you are on the clock.
I was actually going to go Trey Lance. I didn't really expect him to go. I actually probably would have even gone Mac Jones here, to be honest. As you know, I'm not the biggest Drew Lock advocate out there, but I think I'm going to go Micah Parsons here and 180. I think Joel picked the same thing last week.
Yeah,
he's just I don't know if he's the best player available on the board, but he's definitely, I think, the best linebacker available. And I think the Broncos really need one of those. So that's going to be the pick.
I love it. And coming from a Broncos diehard fan, I can say we're double thumbs up at that pick, especially where the draft board falls. Micah Parsons is definitely a stud. As a Broncos fan, we have Josie Jewell right now with A.J. Johnson. Josie Jewell is just as athletic as we need a linebacker to be, especially in our division, where we're just facing stud tight ends. You name them, the AFC West got them. And then now we have a quarterback with Justin Herbert is probably going to be giving some more love to his tight ends too. We definitely need that linebacker that's athletic, and he's just a bigger and faster version of Devin White. So I will take that. Another pick I would have went there too is definitely Rashawn Slater too, but I'm definitely taking Micah Parsons in that position. But Cody, what were you gonna say?
Actually, the other pick I was gonna do, I was torn between Slater and him, but yeah, I agree with that. The question I was gonna have for you is, what if in this real draft Mac Jones falls to 9 and you guys take him? Are you mad, or are you? Because I actually think, like, looking at the board, unless people trade up, I think the Broncos have a chance of taking Mac Jones in this draft.
Yeah, I can see it. Again, we would have that quarterback that's put up, good numbers in college or whatever. He actually posted one of the greatest college stat lines if you look back at it. Again, was that due to his wide receiver core and his offense and Najee Harris, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, or is that just him? And looking at it, he has the pass mechanics right. He's mobile, as a lot of times that they're saying like he's just a Tom Brady, but is this the reason why he looks like a Tom Brady just because you're with athletic quarterbacks this draft class? So he does everything right. Like I said, he has the highest floor but the lowest ceiling, in my opinion. So he'd be able to win you a Super Bowl. Like, you'd win a Super Bowl with him, but he will not win you a Super Bowl, if you understand that. So I wouldn't hate it. Again, brings competition room to Drew Lock. Drew Lock does have a lot of injury concerns. So let's say if Drew Lock goes down, being a prove-it year, if we do release, him, we would have Mac Jones on a 5-year rookie deal. So I wouldn't hate it. Now, would I be like heads over heels, love it? Probably not. And hopefully I'll be able to eat my foot if that does happen, where Mac Jones turned out to be just a killer quarterback. I'd gladly eat that. But again, I would not be head over heels for it. I'd like it,
Yeah,
So.
just don't think I've asked you. I was just wondering.
Yep, 100%. So now going with the Dallas Cowboys, we do have Joe Bragg on the clock, and I know Mike is probably looking curiously at this pick, being America's team, seeing where they go here. I know the Cowboys have a lot of needs with Mike, addressed previously. So definitely, Mr. Braga, you are on the clock with the Dallas Cowboys.
This one's a tough one. I'm gonna throw it out here right now. I'm gonna go corner. Cowboys have a desperate need for secondary help, whether it's from safety all the way to corner. So this one's tough, but I'm gonna go Surtain. I was debating Horn here. Both elite talents. I think they're both going to be fantastic NFL players. But I watched a little bit on Surtain, and his mechanics are just phenomenal. Everything he does, everything he touches turns to gold. So I think that's a perfect pick. I think Jerry Jones will approve of that pick.
Yeah. The three guys here that are available, I would have liked any of them. Surtain, Horn, Slater. Any of those three, I would have been completely okay with.
Yeah. And
I think that's the way it might end up with those three there. So
I agree with you. O-line's a need for the Cowboys too, but I feel like they need to draft defense, man. And with nobody drafting defense in the first round, they get the first pick of other than Parsons, which they don't need a middle linebacker anyway because they got Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. So might as well take the best corner on the board.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you get your pick of corners here. Who knows what you have at 44, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you do it here, and if you really want O-line, like, I think I'll wait for O-line day 3. Yeah. If you're not going to get Slater, get a depth guy later. Go defense first 3 rounds.
Yeah. Even day 2, there's tons of tackles in this draft.
Yeah. I'd rather go safety in round 2 if we can, but.
That's what I was going to say. It seems like the deepest position in this draft actually might be tackle.
Yeah, it is.
In the second round, there is so many good tackles. It's unreal, honestly.
It's a tackle wide receiver draft for sure.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Mike, I'll cheers to that.
He's cracking it.
And then for our previous viewers today, I have put a step up to Mike today. So I'm today drinking White Claw Surge, and then I don't know if you guys can see it for those of you on YouTube. It is 8%, just absolutely bonkers. So puts Mike's 6.8 to shame. So
yeah, because that went well. That went well for me last time. So
and I know, and I'm the host, so that's going to be very interesting.
Cranberry?
Yep, cranberry. Yeah, cranberry. They have 2 flavors, so they have cranberry and then they have blood orange. Cranberry hides the little bit of that alcohol taste to it. And again, we are an adult show, so if you guys are watching, we do not condone underage drinking. So definitely enjoy adult beverages while over the legal age. But now going over to the New York Giants, we do have an interesting pick here. They need some offensive line help. Big time Danny Dimes, and I think it's a make it break a year in my opinion for Danny Dimes. I don't know. The draft that Danny Dimes was drafted in actually just came up on my memories, and we were all booing him, saying he sucks. And injury concerns. He did look good at his end of his rookie year, but it just doesn't seem like it's molding as what the Giants thought he was going to be. So again, he might have that bounce back Josh Allen type year, but it's going to definitely be a prove it year this year. But Mike, are you going to be helping him, or are you going to be going on a different edge? We'd love to hear your pick. You are on the clock.
Yeah, I don't like how the fact that both these mock drafts I have to pick for a division rival, but I mean, I'll move on. But there's a lot of guys here actually that they could take. I don't see wide receiver as such a need, but they could use it. Edge, I still think is too early at 11. I I'm gonna go with like who I think they need and very versatile on the O line is. I'm gonna go Slater here.
It's to me, I think that's the no-brainer pick for them. I think they get a player like this to fall in their lap is like a home run for them. Guy is just a man amongst men.
Like everyone wants to take wide receiver here, but like they got Galladay and they got Slayton and Shepard still. Like they're fine, honestly, at wide receiver. Yes, another one of those guys would be an upgrade on maybe Shepard, but if Slater's there, take him, right?
Yeah,
I'm with you. I agree.
and especially with this, like you said, it's a wide receiver deep class. Like
Yeah,
picking up a Kadarius Toney maybe in the second.
yeah.
I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore. Like there's a lot of these guys.
Yeah,
a lot of these guys you can put on their offense that give some more aid. But yeah, so like the pick, love the pick, and the Eagles will definitely be liking the position that they're in right now, having a new quarterback coming in, starting now. You're gonna, you're losing guys like Alshon Jeffrey. I think wide receiver here falls in their lap, and then this is going to be interesting because they already got a couple wide receivers that they drafted. So I think what they're going to be going now, I think they're going to go with the no-brainer pick. Everybody's mocking now Jalen Waddle to the Eagles. However, I think they're going to go with a more safer pick, a slot guy, Heisman winner, showed that he can literally glide on the field. Is going to be Devonta Smith to the Eagles at pick number 12.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit ridiculous. He's going to slide, I think, and I don't think he should because of his size.
Yeah.
Like he says, like just go watch the tape. He's like injuries happen to anyone. Injuries happen to 300-pound guys. They'll happen to everyone, right? If you're scared of me getting injured, then there's a problem.
The only thing I'm wondering is, would they be more inclined to take Waddle over Smith only because, like, look at last year, they took a wide receiver too who was Rager, who in his own right is pretty small. He's a pretty small guy.
Jalen Rager is not Devonta Smith though, man.
Oh yeah, there's different wavelengths with these guys. Like Rager was kind of a shot in the dark. Like
no, I know. I was just wondering size wise if they'd want a bigger guy. That's all.
I don't know.
I don't think Jalen Waddle's that bigger than.
Not
if
much.
I'm not mistaken. Not by that much.
But like Devontae Smith, like he doesn't even play his size. He plays bigger than what he is like measured out.
Yeah.
Like to me, like when I look at Devonta Smith, man, I just see like poetry on the field, man. Like his route running and this speed, man. His speed doesn't even look like he's running. It looks like he's just literally just gliding on the field. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So let's see here. So we have Devonta Smith, 6'1". What they mark him at, like 160, 169 at the pro day? 166. And then Jalen Waddle is 5'10", 180. But they have Devonta Smith at 174 and then Jalen at 180. So we're probably looking at, Devonta being 6'1", and then Jalen Waddle being 5'10". You have a couple inches on him. And you're probably looking at like a 7-pound difference. So
I thought it was more than that. Guess not.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting at the pick, but I do think that in terms of like just that ball out ability, I think Devonta Smith has that factor where he can separate. He can just do it all, in my opinion. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see there for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So next up, we do have now the LA Chargers in their new stadium, looking amazing. And we have back up to Cody McGuire now picking for the Chargers. And I hope you bomb this pick because, I wouldn't hate that for the Broncos. But we'll let you decide on where you're going there. But, Mr. McGuire, you are on the clock.
I'm going Darisaw. I think it's a pretty easy pick. They need a tackle. Not much more to say. I think it's a pretty obvious pick for them.
Yeah. I think this is just one of those picks that, it just lands in your lap and you're just like, all right, yeah, here. I don't even have to waste any time on this. You got your guy now. You just have to protect him. you have your weapons you need. You don't really need anything else. Just make sure that Herbert's protected, and just keep on building off of last year.
Yeah.
No
You didn't have to
line,
be
but-
so. You didn't have to be so mad about the pick too. Like, my God.
I was actually I was quite happy because if Slater or Darisaw didn't fall, I didn't know what I was going to do. So
Yeah, it's
But,
Derek. Put it in. God.
Yeah, I
No,
can't believe we
they've,
got this guy.
just like the Chiefs too, same division. That O line has what if they go tackle this draft, which I assume they do. That I think that's 4 new starters on that line this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, man,
I think.
the Chiefs literally went from losing everybody and being like, me, hooray, they have the worst O line in the NFL, to literally the best O line. Like, is this ridiculous? Like, it's
Rebuilt in 2
absolutely
months.
sickening.
Yeah.
I just hope
Yep.
Kyle Long's, Russ kind of just comes into play, but who knows? Like, oh my God, I don't like it. I don't like it, but we have the toughest division in football.
Yes.
So, but next up, we do have Joe Braga here. He's going to be picking for the Minnesota Vikings. Mr. Joel, you are on the clock.
This one's tough too because I was gonna take Darisaw here, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with J.C. Horn here.
Woo!
Okay.
And with me being a Panthers GM right now, I am throwing my papers out the wall because that is who I had lined up.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn is a stud.
The fact that he's even at 14 is crazy to me because he's super duper talented, right? I was debating between Surtain and him at the Cowboys pick at 10. So for him to fall 4 more picks that's money in the bank right there.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of buzz at number 8 for the Panthers.
Right.
Because apparently they love him. So who knows what they're going to do.
Right.
Gets to play beside Pat Pete too for maybe a year or two. That's not gonna hurt him.
No.
Whatsoever. But with the Panthers now losing, sucks. It hurts, a stab in the heart. But but the Panthers are still happy because their now newest quarterback, Sam Darnold, is now going to be getting a good weapon to add on. They're going to be going with Jalen Waddle out of Alabama to strengthen the offensive and give Sam Darnold all the opportunities to be the great quarterback that he thought was going to be coming out of the draft. He is going to be happy with that. And to pair him alongside the weapons they got right now, it's going to be more of a dynamic offense, especially with now Run CMC coming back off the injury. So watch out. Carolina Panthers going to be shooting their shot. Jalen Waddle, Alabama.
Well, think about it, man. They're just replacing Curtis Samuel now with Jalen Waddle. That's pretty damn good if you ask me.
Yep. And then on top of it, they got the 2 first-round picks next year, courtesy of Billy B.
Yeah, exactly. You get Waddle at 15 plus a first-round pick next year. Like
that's pretty nice.
That's a win.
That sounds like a good trade for Carolina all day.
Yeah. So now with that, we do have the Cardinals on the line, and I am going to be acting for the Cardinals again here too. And they're going to be looking at a tougher pick.
It scares me. Don't do it, AJ.
Yeah. And so with them, they do need a linebacker, edge type player. However, they also need a cornerback now to replace Pat Pete. They could go Gregory Newsome, but he's going to be more of a day 2 pick, in my opinion. So what they're going to be doing is taking the best interior defensive player on the clock, and it's going to be Christian Barmore from Alabama, strengthening up that defensive line, especially now having J.J. Watt now on the sides. It's Christian Barmore to the Arizona Cardinals.
I like it.
That'd make a good line, man.
Mm-hmm. Scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely scary. But now we do have the Oakland Raiders now on the clock. Actually, who's going to be picking now? Is this
me? Yeah.
Cody. So Cody, you're on the clock with the Oakland Raiders. Wow, I am so sorry, Raiders fans. Las Vegas Raiders.
Unbelievable.
And actually, my godfather just came back from Las Vegas, and he said their stadium, man, it's like you're on Star Trek. He said it's literally like a spaceship.
Yeah.
He said it's absolutely wild. I actually cannot wait to go now because I won't feel the threat of the black hole because now with it being in Vegas, there's going to be so much traction going there. So going to a Raiders game is going to be as frightful now. So, but yeah, Cody, you're on the clock with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Man, this is an interesting pick. There's so many things they could do. I'm going to say I'm going to take Vera Tucker.
Yeah,
Elijah Vera Tucker, the
I like the
tackle out
fact
of
that-
USC.
And he can play guard. Think that's a really good pick for them. I'm going to take Tucker.
I think he's going to be a guard at the NFL level.
Yeah,
he's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, but it's great in the sense that you have the versatility. You always look for that in linemen, especially in a first rounder. So
well, especially in the Vegas Raiders where they need both a guard and a tackle, so they can really put him at two positions, see whichever he fits perfectly, and there you go.
Yep.
You just pop and flip, right?
yeah.
Oh, great pick. Very versatile player, and then he's shown some really good signs of promise to be really good on the next level. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting pick for sure. But Elijah Vera Tucker, the tackle out of USC to the Vegas Raiders. But now we have the Dolphins. Joel, you were able to get both of your Dolphins picks, man. So I know you're just floating over there. So, yeah, Joel, you're up with the Miami Dolphins, pick number 18.
This one's super tough. Super tough. There's a few players that I really want here. So I hate to do this. But I'm going to have to pass on Najee Harris here.
Woo!
Yeah.
I thought that was coming for you. I know you've been pounding the table for him.
I don't want to do it. But I'm putting my head in what I think the Dolphins are going to do. And I got a weird feeling that they're talking about Jenkins, the offensive tackle.
Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, another versatile player. Again, like I said, I was watching his tape, man. He reminds me of Garrett Bowles, but smarter, and that knows not to hold. So, I mean, if you get a Garrett Bowles that doesn't hold, man, I mean, you're in a really, really good spot.
Like I said, I did not want to make. If it was up to me, I would not make that pick. But I'm doing it in the mind of the Miami Dolphins and what they need, and they need a right tackle horribly.
The best right tackle.
More of a need than Najee Harris. So I hope they address the running back position in round 2, but I just couldn't take Najee Harris there. I just couldn't do it.
In round 2, you have some solid players still, right? Like
for sure.
You have NTN probably slipping out to round 2. You have
Williams,
Javonte Williams. You have Jamal Carter. Like there's still some really, really nice players in round 2 that you can swoop up. Even maybe some that might, like a Carter, he might slip to round 3, like early round 3, which would be a steal of a pickup, right? That Alvin Kamara type of value. So
yeah,
right.
Love it. And then with the Dolphins, man, it's different because you have a left-handed quarterback, right? So you need that blind side right tackle who's going to be the best tackle in the situation, which is Tevin Jenkins, the best right tackle in the draft. So you get your stud, and hopefully he turns out to be that safekeep for Tua. So he needs it. So Jamar Chase, Tevin Jenkins, looking real good for the Dolphins offense.
Yeah.
Now we do have the Washington football team, a.k.a. the team that doesn't know what their team name is going to be.
Yeah.
But you are on the clock, Mr. Mike Sharp.
Yeah, well, I kind of wish you drafted with your heart because I would have liked Jenkins at 19. But they have another glaring need that I think that can easily be filled here. It's a matter of who I want to take, though. I'm going linebacker. But I don't know if I want. It's for me. It's between JOK and Davis,
Yeah.
and I'm going Jamin Davis here.
Jamin Davis, the
I'm with
Kentucky boy. I love this guy, man. You talking about
Yeah.
athletic, long. Whew. He's going to be really nice.
This would
to the
be
next
a
level.
good thing. This would be a good problem to have for them because JOK is really good in his own right. Arosa Koromora.
Yeah.
But I like Jamin Davis a lot.
Yeah, me too.
He's a player that just pops out your screen when you watch him. You know what I mean? And I love players like that. But
Yeah,
he's from a
he
team
likes
that
to-
might be a huge team. Like Kentucky is more like a basketball team, right? So to have a player kind of jump out your screen for that,
he likes to
nice.
hit too, which helps. As a linebacker, you need that.
Yep.
Yeah, just play that song. Here comes the boom.
Yeah.
So now with me here, I had the Chicago Bears, and our super fan Braden DeLima, he is a Bears fan, so I know he's probably having the volume cranked on this one in anticipation to see what I'm going to be drafting for them. But before we do, I hope everybody that's watching is enjoying this so far. If you are, definitely be sure to give us a big old thumbs up as to help our algorithm, as well as just put in the comment section. Are you liking this draft, or the draft picks are maybe too risky, or what do you think they're on point, or what you think is going to happen on Thursday? Definitely drop in the comment section if you're watching live or post live stream. However, I'm the Chicago Bears, and we are on the clock, and I am going to be going. They just lost some cornerbacks, and I'm going to be doing something that the Bears are known for doing a little bit, and reaching always. And they're going to be taking the risk and the shot on a blue chip cornerback that now has medical clearance, and they are going to be going Caleb Farley, the stud cornerback. And I think this is going to be awesome. Now that his medical came back saying it's clear, the back problems weren't as severe as they previously expected. Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech, absolute stud. Before those even conditions came out that he probably would have had a back condition, the Broncos looking at draft him at 9. So to get him at pick number 20, that talent, I think it's almost a no-brainer for them.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like they're saying his back is like he should be good to go, but what's I don't understand is why he waited so long to do this.
Yeah,
like he sat out this year. So why did you wait until like 2 months before the draft to do a back procedure? I don't know.
Maybe it sort of flared up on him, kind of deal. Like I can't imagine he was doing much stuff the last year, right? So maybe it kind of took him off guard.
Yeah, it could have. But if he comes out like healthy and has no issues in the NFL, he's going to be very good. That could be a steal.
But Braden, man, what are you thinking about this? If you're watching right now, definitely drop in the comment section. How would you like if you guys got a cornerback to replace? Let us know.
Yeah.
They have a pretty nice secondary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're going to keep on rolling now. Here we are going to go back now to the Indianapolis Colts at pick number 21. And Mr. Cody McGuire, you are on the clock. New quarterback, all-pro offensive lineman. Who are you now going to be going with the Indianapolis Colts?
And this is a tough pick. I think they need some O-line hole there, but I don't know. I kind of think they might take a wide receiver, to be honest. I'm going to take Bateman.
Whoa. I like it. What's the reason for that one?
Because they have wide receivers, but like T.Y. Hilton is a great wide receiver, but he's hurt very often. They have trying to think of I'm totally blanking on
Michael Pittman, who they just drafted last year.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to Zach Pascal, that's who I'm trying to think of.
Oh, Zach Pascal, yeah.
I think that if they, because I mean T.Y. Hilton's on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to be there next year. So I really think that Bateman, Campbell, and
Pittman
are going to be a pretty good trio. So I don't know. I was torn between O lineman and wide receiver, but I'm going to go Bateman.
I like it. Honestly, I think Rashad Bateman is one of those wide receivers that are going to be low key this good. You know what I mean? You're going to come in the league, might give you that 850, 900 yards. 7-8 touchdowns and this be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Colts could have went. They could have went edge too to kind of beef up that D line a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was tempted to go Kwity Paye, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's so
like
many good pass rushers left still that I went wide receiver. It's so deep at pass rush, tackle, and wide receiver, and those are probably the 3 deepest positions in the draft. So it was a hard pick.
The one thing I like about this though, Cody, is that you're giving Wentz basically saying, "Hey, we believe in you. We're gonna give you a little bit more." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like the pick a lot for sure. We do have Braden giving us his opinion on that pick. He says, "I hate the fact that we're taking a chance again on another prone corner after taking Jalen last year, but the secondary would amp me up. I can see the Bears taking Bateman here if they don't trade up." There we go. Yeah, so another Bateman hopeful.
Yeah, it is true. Like, I'm pretty sure Jalen Johnson missed the last, I want to say 4 games of the season last year with that shoulder. So it's like, it is kind of risky taking Farley, but I don't know. The last 2 picks are hard. I really was torn on that pick. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Love it though. Love it. GM Cody in the building making those picks. But we going down back to Joel. He is on the clock with the Tennessee Titans. #Titan up with pick number 22. Mr. Joel, you are on the clock.
I think we're gonna go ahead and take Jalen Phillips here.
Jalen Phillips, the edge.
Nice.
See, I probably have to pull him up here. Let's see, there it is. The edge from Miami, man. Miami has like 3 edges that are nasty this draft.
Gregory Rousseau looks good too.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
It's crazy how many good pass rushers are in this first round.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones.
Man, this, like, if you really look at it, man, this draft is deep. Like, you're talking about, you can look into the 3rd round and still find great talent, which is going to be awesome to see. So I think, day 1, of course, is going to have us amped up, but I think day 2 is going to be just as great.
Day 2 is going to be unreal. I cannot wait for day 2.
Yeah.
100%. So now we do have the Jets on the clock. We do have Mike Sharp going with the Jets on their pick number 23. They got their quarterback of the decade. And now what are they going to be doing now with pick number 23? Mike Sharp, you are on the clock.
I was kind of hoping Farley was here, to be honest. I still think Newsom's a bit of a reach at 23. You could go receiver here. Yeah, I might do that actually. I'm gonna go Elijah Moore.
Nice.
Ole Miss.
I love this kid.
It just gives it's just another weapon Wilson's gonna need when he's there.
The one thing I love about this pick too, Sharp, is that you're combining 2 5 years together. You know what, with your quarterback, wide receiver, so you have that tandem now for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? I love that, those type of pairings, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, man, Ole Miss wide receivers, bro, man, they're tearing it up in the league right now.
Oh yeah. Like there's a few guys you could choose from here. Like you could have went Tony, could have went maybe Marshall here. Mm-hmm. I just think Elijah Moore I think that's a guy that Zach Wilson would like to throw to.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks good, man.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of wide receivers taken in this first round. I don't know. A lot more than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really deep. And I think as soon as they start, like, really coming off, like, it's going to be, like, almost, it's like the FOMO effect, right? Fear of missing out. So as soon as, like, 3, 4, and all of a sudden you start seeing, 2 or 3 guys or 2 guys that you have on your, like, it's like, all right, we may have to just, either reach for them and, hopefully they all go well. But, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting in that aspect. So, but now on the clock, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to all my family if they're watching because they're basically all Steelers fans. So, hopefully, you do like my pick. So going with it, I was looking at it. And with Bud Dupree not being there, it does weaken their rush there a little bit. Losing guys like Marquise Pouncey. Who else did they just lose now? Villanueva, 2 on their offensive side. So like they're taking a little bit of a punch back, but I do think they're going to be going offensive line day 2. And the biggest thing, I said it from previous drafts, I said it from previous podcasts, the Steelers' run game was absolutely abysmal. I've never seen Big Ben or quarterback throw as much. There was one game, I think they only rushed the ball once. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that ever. So, on this pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be going Najee Harris out of Alabama, the best running back in this draft. He can do it all. He gives that extra threat, makes defense play more honest, and he can catch out of the backfield. He is the best running back in this draft, and the Steelers are going to be popping champagne bottles. See, they got a running game back.
No, Braggs wanted him to slip to the second man.
Yeah, what are you
not
doing?
Happening.
We talked about this.
Absolutely not happening.
Unreal, eh?
So at pick number 25, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up. Just like the Jets, they've had their quarterback now of the next decade. And now what they're going to be doing with pick number 25, we have Cody McGuire on the clock with Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think I'm going to take Morig here.
Yeah.
Love it. Trayvon Morig, the best safety in the draft. And it is like, it's almost like a Kyle Pitts where Trayvon Morig is far and beyond the next safety coming up. You know what I mean? Like, I think the next best safety is maybe Richie Grant.
That's my safety one, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I like him more than Morig.
Wow. See, I don't know. I like
that's
Morig,
just me.
but,
That's just me.
Yeah. So Trayvon Morig, I like it.
Yeah, and like they're gonna have a pretty decent secondary with Morgan there too. They just brought Shaq Griffin in, and they got C.J. Henderson too. So I mean, that's a pretty good defense to back up Lawrence, at least on the back end. So
yeah, especially with the picks that they brought in, right? They brought in Marvin Jones and all those boys. So he has his weapons now. Strengthen that defense, give it a little bit more of a balanced playing field. Love it. Love the pick.
Oh, the Browns are next, eh?
The Browns.
Wow, this guy fell in the lap.
Braga, you are on the clock with the Cleveland Browns, and it is going to be interesting to see what you go here. You are on the clock, my friend.
Well, they just picked up Clowney, so I'm gonna go ahead and take JOK here.
JOK falls right in the lap.
Oh, it'd be an absolute steal here.
Man, talk about a feel. Cody, man, I'll be shaking in my boots, man, if I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely frightened.
yeah, they got a nice roster, pretty much top to bottom. They got one of the best O-lines in the NFL too. So,
and one of the best running. And did they bring back Kareem Hunt?
yeah. Well, he's on a 2-year deal.
They were talking about trading him, but they haven't done anything yet.
No.
Man, it's just crazy how the Browns went from the laughing stock of the league for a whole decade to being the best in their division. Like
longer than a decade.
Yeah, longer than a decade, yeah. But crazy to see the flip. And hey, it's the turn of Baker. It was the process. Trust in the process like the 76ers.
Yeah.
Well, they finally brought a coach in that actually brought a play style and that worked, right? He didn't try and make Baker do things that Baker can't do. He found what works for him, and it really worked, obviously. I mean, they made it to play the Chiefs in the playoffs, so something they did was right.
100%. 1,000%. But now we got the Baltimore Ravens. The Flock Gang is on the clock. We have Mike Sharp rubbing his hands, excited. We have Cody panicking now. He's sweating. But Mike Sharp, you are on the clock with the Baltimore Ravens. Who are the Flock Gang gonna choose?
Yeah, this guy I'm gonna take here, I think, is a perfect replacement for Judon, and that's gonna be Azeez Ojulari.
Azeez Ojulari.
I think, like, if he even reaches here, like I think he might go a bit earlier, but this guy literally plays a scheme the same way that Judon did. So I think it's kind of a perfect transition for them. because he's listed at edge, but he can play outside linebacker too. So I think this is a great pick if the Ravens can get him at 27. I think this is the reason that they wanted another first, because I think they want to go edge and they still want something else within that range that they are. So I'll let you know what I do next, but I think this is one of the reasons why they went and got another first.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Cody, what do you think?
Well, I love the pick. I the two pass rushers I want that I think are actually realistic for them to get there are Azeez and Jalen Phillips. Those are the two guys that I would want the Ravens to go after. And Phillips has a little bit more concerns on the injury front, so maybe Ojulari makes more sense anyway and is the safer pick of the two, so works for me.
Love it. Love it. All right, the Ravens flock has spoken. Good acceptance over there. Love it. So now going on to pick number 28, we have Who Dat Nation with the NOLA Saints. And I think this player fell into the lap. This kid is an absolute stud, in my opinion. New Orleans Saints will definitely like him on the defensive end. I was thinking about a Marshawn Lattimore filling the hole because, as everybody know, he did get a suspension. So his cornerback definitely is a need, but I think they'll fulfill that in the second round. However, we're going to go the best player available at the linebacker position. We're going to go Zaven Collins, and I think he is going to be a welcoming hand in New Orleans Saints from Tulsa.
Yeah, he's a good player.
And now we have Green Bay on the clock. Now, this is going to be interesting. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be on the podium too, or what we're going to be going here, Cody? But we are on the clock with the Cheeseheads. And if Donovan, if you're watching this, I know your anticipation. Donnie, who do you want? Post it in the comment sections there. We'd love to hear it. I'm a fellow super fan of the panel and a Cheesehead himself. But Cody, you are on the clock with the Green Bay Packers.
I want to go wide receiver and help out Rodgers, but I think a lot of the guys that I would have done that with have probably passed. I feel like they can still get a pretty good guy to help him out in the second round. I think a guy like Tony's a bit of a reach. The old linemen that I'd like are gone. So I'm going to go with somebody in the secondary. It's not going to be Newsome. I'm going to go with Asante Samuel Jr., the corner. I really like him. I was torn between him and Newsome, but I just think Samuel is going to be better, so I picked him.
Yeah, they're talking about him being a little undersized, but he plays bigger than his size is, because everyone's like, oh, we'll just slide him in a nickel. Like, no, he's an outside corner, and like he did well as an outside corner in college. So,
and him and Alexander together would be quite formidable. So I think that's a solid pick. And I think if they can't get a wide receiver they like, that they probably will go corner. So.
And they still have Adrian Amos too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
And no, timeout. Can we put some more respect on Jerry Alexander's name, man? That guy is ridiculously good. Like,
very good.
Absolutely just fearful to quarterbacks. Like, geez. I can't remember. I had to pull up the stat. Maybe I have to pull up on the next podcast. But it was something ridiculous. Like, he's only allowed, I think, the most like 55 yards against them the whole season last year, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I would have to fact check on that, but I saw it on PFF. It was a stat, someone similar to that. But I was just like, man, that's ridiculous. Like, absolutely crazy.
And I'm pretty sure he's going into his 5th year option this year, if I'm not mistaken, Alexander. So it's always good to kind of have some good guys. You can never have enough good corners. Who knows? Like, you hope that you can bring him back, but he's going to be expensive. So it's just something to keep in mind.
They'd be like Shane McMahon, here comes the money. Here it goes. So now we do have the Buffalo Bills now on the clock at pick number 30. We are winding down to the end of the draft. We do have Mr. Joe Braga on the clock with the Bills Mafia jumping through some tables on fire. Pick number 30. Joel, you're on the clock.
Easy pick. Quiddy Pay.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bills can hand in a card any faster. If Quiddy Pay is still there at 30, my, oh my.
Yeah.
And coming from a Michigan fan, yeah. guy is a beast. Now, he does rely on his athletics a little bit too much at the college level. So hopefully his technique improves just a little bit. But with that defense that Buffalo has and their defensive coaches, I don't see that being a problem. So Kwity Paye, absolute steal at pick 30.
Yeah.
Now, going to the clock, we do have Mike again with the Ravens. Oh, Cody, you couldn't even get one of the Ravens picks. But
No.
Mike Sharp is on the clock. Ravens flock game. Let's see what's going on with this pick at 31.
Yeah, well, at 27, I thought I was going to have to decide between Edge and Morig. But, I mean, Morig at 25 makes sense. I think they're going to go receiver here. Like, I'm tempted to take Richie Grant, but I think it's a little too early. They could go O-line because they just lost what's his face? Brown. I feel like they need a receiver on 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They could maybe find, but they could go O-line in the second too, because that's deeper than receiver.
We don't got a second round pick. We traded it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that makes it a bit tougher. I don't know if I like any certain tackle here.
No, you gotta go receiver here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Tony here.
Nice.
I think
And that's the one reason why I honestly think getting another first was important for them, because I think they wanted to get a defensive guy and a wide receiver in the first.
And you know what? I love the pick because, to be honest with you, I've said this a couple of times. I'm not the biggest Terrace Marshall fan. I think he's going to be a good player, but I don't know if I want to draft him in the first round. That's all.
Yeah.
So I actually really like the Tony pick. That's who I would want.
Because if I was going to go tackle here, I might have reached a bit for Leatherwood, because I think he might be a good tackle. But I think it's just too much.
I think, yeah. Especially not having a second.
Yeah.
Knowing how the Ravens are, I just find it so hard to believe that they keep both of these picks. Like, they totally could, depending on how the board falls, but I just can't see DeCosta sitting from pick 31 to pick 94 for their next pick. Like, it's just...
I can definitely see him moving 31 to go back.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
And that leaves no other than the final pick of...
Do the Bucks go QB here?
That is a great shout. It could be. You have, still two great prospects now. However, so this is what I'll say here on the podcast here. I do believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade out of this pick to get more picks. However, because we're only doing a first round pick, it just leave nothing there. Because we're only doing the first round. So I am going to pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as if they weren't going to trade. And to me, I think every position on this team is covered. They brought back everybody back from the Super Bowl winning team. So you can never, ever, ever have too many players that rush the quarterback. And I think they'll take the shot on a player that was an absolute menace last year. And they're going to take the shot on Gregory Rousseau and have him paired with that defense. And if they needs to develop for a little bit or needs to play second, he'll be there. And it's a great depth option that can turn into a superstar with a 5-year contract. And I think Gregory Rousseau will be the pick.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a value for them at 32.
And that is it. That is the Pigskin Panel final mock draft of the 2020 first round pick. Fellas, man, how you feeling about it? How do you feel the picks went? Do you feel like you maybe reached on a couple of them? What are your thoughts, man? I'll start off with Mike.
I think Lions at 7 maybe is a bit out there, but I can see it. I don't know if they're gonna go that route, but that's maybe the biggest weird one, I'd say. because everything else seems like maybe Farley at 20. Like I don't know if Bears maybe go receiver instead, but you never know.
Yeah, that was my biggest 20 is number 20 with the Bears. I do probably see them trading back possibly, because I do think they would like to stockpile, especially it being a deeper draft. Maybe Caleb Farley is something that's in their prospects. So moving back to maybe the Steelers really loved Najee Harris that much to move up from there. From pick number 24 to 20, they move back 4 spots, still pick up fairly, maybe get, another second round pick or something like that to boost up, maybe a wide receiver or something like that. But yeah, definitely 20 was definitely my kind of iffy one, but I do think if Farley is 100% healthy, it's a steal. So, but yeah, that was definitely my teeter totter. Cody, what about you, man? How you feeling about that draft?
Good. I think Trey Lance actually makes a little bit more sense than Sharp's giving it credit for, I think, because he really does need to sit behind somebody, I think. So it does make sense that he would go to the Lions. My pick was the pick that I liked the least. I didn't really love Bateman to the Colts, but I don't know. I was just torn between an edge rusher and Bateman. But at the same time, like Pascal's just a guy. T.Y. is going to be there for one more season. I think it's good to bring him in. So I think overall, though, it went pretty well.
One of the things that I seen, and what I was talking about earlier in the draft about the Falcons trading, especially with the concerns of Julio, could you possibly see the Colts trading that draft pick, the first, and maybe next year's second, and maybe like a third for Julio, and then you'd have like Julio, Ty, and all those boys?
No,
Not really. I see Julio going to someone like the Ravens if they want to move some picks for like next year's draft, because then there's your number one guy.
my dream scenario would be if we did go wide receiver in the first round, get Tony, put him in the slot, put Brown outside, burning people on the outside, and then put Julio as the number one on the other side. That would be sweet. But I mean, that's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely ridiculous, to say the least.
Yeah.
I don't know. What Braga, what about you? How you feeling? The biggest one is you, right? Having both of your Dolphins picks. How did you feel about that draft?
I'm good with it. I don't love it, but I'm good with it.
You still heard about the Najee Harris to the Steelers?
I'm broken.
This rips off the jersey mid-draft after.
I'm broken, man. Like that's the one thing that's gonna kill me come Thursday, and I know it's gonna happen.
Could you see yourself like the Dolphins moving up for someone like Najee, or do you think they will wait for like a Carter in the third?
Najee will definitely be available at 18 when the Dolphins pick. It's just they won't pick him, and that's the part. That's the part that kills me because I know they won't.
I'm wondering if they'd move back and still take him because he might like. Running backs right now, not a lot are going in the first round. So if they traded back to, I don't know, 22, like 21, I don't know if those guys would want to move up, but.
And like Dwayne said, you said at the end.
Delima, I don't want that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want that guy.
His name is not Najee.
Yeah, it's either Harris or Williams. Everyone else I don't want anything to do with.
Man, you know who Najee's built? You know who's like Najee's built like? And like when I saw him on the pro day, man, he's built like a Melvin Gordon, man. The guy is a brick. Like dude, solid dude, man.
Have you seen Najee Harris catch the ball? It's a thing of beauty.
Is his comp Melvin Gordon?
It has to be close.
It might be.
It might even be a Zeke Elliott type.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Alabama games this year. And he stands out. He really stands out in that offense.
Special, man. He's got the best pass-catching running back in the draft, the best actual running back through the tackles in the draft. He's night and day the best running back in this draft. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. You can't even make a case for anybody else.
The only close one in pass-catching is Etienne, but I don't like his overall game compared to Harris.
I
Etienne is
agree.
still a monster, though, man.
He's good.
Like me and my dad was having the conversation, man. Etienne, like for the not including this year, right? Because this year was kind of like whip. But if you look at the past 2 years, man, like ridiculous. Like
The Bills can have him at 30.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what I did last time.
Like the Bucks don't need running backs, but Etienne would be good on the Bucks
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of
Yeah.
that check down stuff, right, and screen passes.
You know what? Maybe the Finns do go Najee, though. I don't think they will either, but this is a weak running back draft from
They're
what
not.
I No,
For
I don't think so.
No,
They're not.
They,
I guess with
they
Flowers
need that
gone.
protection for Tua.
Yeah, and 18 overall pick. If Sharp's right, if they do decide to move back to take Harris, then they need to go to like 24, 25, and they can get Harris there. But to go back 3 spots to get Harris just doesn't make sense. I don't see anybody in this draft taking a running back unless it's 26 and on.
Yeah,
Like the Steelers, even them, if they take Harris, I think that's a bad mistake for them. They need tackles. They need defense. They lost Bud Dupree. There's tons of edge rushers falling in this draft in the mock that we just did. If the Steelers were smarter, I would say they'd go Phillips, Rousseau, Ujawari. There's all kinds of pass
Phillips
rushers.
is already gone. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of pass rushers. I think taking a running back that early is a mistake, which is why I know the Dolphins won't do it. But if they moved back, collected a day 2 pick, and then took Harris, then that makes sense because you can address that hole that you were just missing out on in the second round.
yeah.
Guys like Oway dropped too. Like
Yeah, there's lots of good players in the second
But
round.
and that's what I was saying, man. Because even we did the 2 drafts, right? The draft that we did 2 weeks ago and this week, right? And they were different picks. And if you still look at day 2, man, the amount of great quality players that's on that board still is absolutely insane.
Yeah. That's where the Dolphins they have to be torn because 18 is such a valuable pick. And you just cannot take a running back there. You just cannot, not with all that talent available.
Yeah.
It would be a mistake.
Especially like you guys need that right tackle, right? Because like your right tackle is everybody else's left tackle. Like it's the premium top 5 type pick.
Yeah.
Right. So to get the best right tackle, basically like your left tackle at 18,
right,
is ridiculous.
Right.
Well, the Finns have 36 too, don't they?
Yeah,
they're really early in the second.
The Finns pick, I think 35th or 36th. I think it's the 4th pick.
So you can
there's your Javonte Williams right there.
or him,
Right,
yeah.
right. But it's not Najee Harris, man.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
All of a sudden, next podcast we're going to see in September, Brad doesn't have a Javonte Williams jersey on, rocking it.
Yeah.
do they grade our draft? The site.
Oh, they did. They
Oh, they
did.
did?
I clicked off. Yeah.
That's okay. That's
Good
okay.
one.
We all got A's.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the little Bill Belichick Carolina call there, Matt Rule.
Little improv.
Yeah, a little improv. Talk to the war room a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, that was it. We're super excited. This mock draft again was always for fun, and just to see what we thought, how we were gonna see how the draft fell to us, and what our expectations are of the draft. Again, the draft is in 2 days, 2 more sleeps, and we will be here. Again, if you guys want to, we are going to be hosting a StreamYard just like we are right now, doing it live. We're going to be watching the draft. So if you guys want to watch the draft with us, definitely tune in onto our YouTube. So definitely hit that subscribe button and make sure you click on the notification bell. That way, when we do go live, you'll get an email saying, hey, we're live, tune in. And because we have 4 people right here, we're actually able to get 2 more people on screen. So if you join up first and you say on our comment section on the live saying, I want to join in, I'll give you guys the link to join the panel and watch the draft with all of us. You be that one. So make sure you're the first 2 people in the comment sections to say, I want to be in the draft with the panel. And I'll give you guys the link to be able to join on screen live with the panel. But guys, again, this draft has been incredible with the mock draft. I'm just thrilled. Like as a Broncos fan at 9, are we going to get our quarterback? Are we going to get a cornerback? Are we going to get whoever offensive tackle? I don't know. I'm super excited about it. And then Mike, you're going to be whoever reciprocates off of the Broncos pick is basically what's going to fall in your guys' lap. So, and, you know, Joel now with his 2 picks over there without Najee, you can see if you guys aren't watching on live, you can see he's still kind of upset over there. But and then Cody's just chilling. He's just like, oh, whatever. We got 2 picks, so whatever it is. We'll hopefully get a wide receiver for the future. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This has been the Pigskin Panel. Definitely make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. Cody right now is rocking our handle. Everything on social media is the Pigskin Panel. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you did like this, definitely remember, give us a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm show that YouTube people are liking the Pigskin Panel and loving the football content. It pushes out to more people that are NFL fans. So definitely want to keep on enjoying this community. And as Cody always likes to say, definitely engage with us on the social media platforms. You know, give us some banter, chirp us. We love it. So keep it up there. But yeah, guys, until next time, this has been the Pigskin Panel with your hosts, AJ Lavender, Mike Sharp, Cody McGuire, and Joe Braga from the sunny state of Florida, Miami, representing the Dolphins. Until next time, guys, see you on Thursday, 8 p.m. Oh, actually, when does the draft start?
8 p.m.
Okay, 8 p.m. Oh, so it's perfect. It runs right at the time. So catch us Thursday, 8 p.m. We're going to be live. Grab your alcoholic drinks. If you're above age, grab your popcorn because it is going to be a rowdy night. Until next time, guys, take it easy. Peace out.